Welcome back to AZ Automotive Reviews, the channel where we dive deep into the machines that shaped industries, powered progress, and became legends in their own right. Today, we're not looking at sports cars, motorcycles, or even luxury yachts, we're looking at giants. Absolute titans of the fields. The most powerful tractors ever built by human hands. This, my friends, is the world of Big Bud. Big Bud is not just a tractor brand, it's an icon of American agricultural power, engineering, and ambition. Built in Havre, Montana by Northern Manufacturing, these tractors weren't designed to be ordinary. They were designed to be the biggest, toughest, and most hard-working machines a farmer could dream of. When you hear the name Big Bud, you don't think of a simple farm tractor, you think of sheer brute force and machines so large, they redefine what's possible in farming. Let's take a journey back to the roots of Big Bud. The very first tractors rolled out in the late 1960s, and from the very beginning, they had one goal: build tractors that could work more acres, pull heavier loads, and last longer than anything else on the market. In the farmlands of Montana, where massive wheat fields stretched endlessly across the horizon, farmers needed horsepower, durability, and reliability. And Big Bud answered that call. One of the earliest and most famous models was the Big Bud 250. Now, while 250 horsepower might not sound earth-shattering today, at the time, it was a beast. Built tough, with a Caterpillar diesel engine under the hood, it was rugged, dependable, and massive compared to many of its rivals. This was the machine that put Big Bud on the map, proving that Montana engineering could compete with the big names in farming equipment. But of course, Big Bud didn't stop there. They kept scaling up. The Big Bud 400 came along, boasting even more power and muscle. With its Detroit diesel engine, this tractor represented a philosophy that was becoming clear: if farmers needed more horsepower, Big Bud was going to build it. Unlike many companies that cut corners or thought small, Big Bud was driven by custom requests. If you wanted a tractor that could pull more, cover more land, and do it faster, they would literally build one for you. Then came models like the Big Bud 525 50ths and the Big Bud 600. These machines were simply colossal. At 500 and 600 horsepower, they dwarfed much of the competition in their time. Farmers who had thousands of acres to manage suddenly had a weapon that could pull the biggest plows on the market, sometimes working land that smaller tractors couldn't even dream of touching. The 600 in particular was a workhorse that combined power with reliability, featuring Caterpillar engines that delivered torque by the ton. But all of this was building up to one of the most legendary creations in agricultural history, the Big Bud 747. Known across the world as the largest tractor ever built, this machine was a marvel of engineering. Standing over 14 feet tall, 27 feet long, and weighing nearly 100,000 pounds when fully ballasted, it was less of a tractor and more of a land titan. Under the hood sat a 16-cylinder Detroit diesel engine producing an unbelievable 1,100 horsepower. To put that into perspective, that's more power than many modern-day supercars combined. And yet, the 747 wasn't designed to impress car enthusiasts, it was built to pull a 35-foot-wide cultivator across the vast fields of Montana. The Big Bud 747 became a legend. Farmers, collectors, and enthusiasts from all over the world admired it. Even today, it holds the title of the world's largest farm tractor, and it remains a symbol of what happens when engineers push the limits of what's possible. It worked tirelessly in Montana fields for decades before being restored and displayed for enthusiasts to witness up close. Seeing it in person is like standing in front of a steel giant, its raw power, history, and engineering brilliance all in one. Beyond the 747, Big Bud also produced workhorses like the Big Bud 650 and the Big Bud 950. The 650 was an absolute powerhouse with a 650-horse Caterpillar engine, designed to pull some of the heaviest farm implements on Earth. Meanwhile, the 950 was designed for the massive wheat fields of the northern plains, boasting nearly 900 horsepower. These machines weren't mass-produced like tractors from John Deere or Case IH. Instead, they were built in limited numbers, often custom-ordered to fit the exact needs of massive farming operations. That's what made Big Bud special. You weren't just buying a tractor, you were getting a custom-built farming monster. One of the reasons Big Bud tractors are so revered is their durability. Many of these machines, built in the 70s and 80s, are still running strong today. Farmers often talk about how these tractors are easy to work on, designed with mechanics in mind, and built from heavy-duty, replaceable parts. Unlike modern equipment, which often comes with complex electronics and proprietary software, Big Bud tractors were straightforward. If you had the tools, the knowledge, and the grit, you could keep one running for decades. That's why they earned the nickname, the Million-Mile Tractors. Now, let's talk about their cultural impact. Big Bud isn't just a name farmers respect, it's become a symbol of American strength and ingenuity. In documentaries, museums, and even toy replicas, Big Bud tractors represent a golden era of farming innovation. The sheer audacity of building something like the 747 has inspired generations of engineers and farmers alike. While many farm equipment manufacturers focused on efficiency and mass production, Big Bud focused on raw power and custom solutions. Of course, Big Bud wasn't without its challenges. By the 1990s, the company faced increasing competition from larger global brands and changing demands in the agricultural industry. Smaller, more fuel-efficient tractors became more practical for many farms, and the market for massive machines like Big Bud began to shrink. Eventually, production slowed, and Big Bud's presence in the market faded. But legends never die. Even today, collectors, farmers, and enthusiasts keep these machines alive, restoring them, showcasing them, and celebrating their history. Think about it this way. Cars like the Bugatti Veyron or the Lamborghini Aventador represent the pinnacle of automotive power and speed. In the world of agriculture, Big Bud tractors are their equivalent. They're not just tools, they're statements of engineering dominance. Standing next to one, you feel dwarfed by its scale, reminded of just how much human ambition can achieve when we aim big, literally. And that's why Big Bud continues to capture the imagination. Whether it's the early 250 that proved Montana could build a world-class tractor, the 400 and 600 series that showed the world how much horsepower a farmer could use, or the legendary 747 that remains unmatched to this day, each Big Bud tells a story of innovation, determination, and power. Here's the most fascinating part: Big Bud isn't gone forever. In recent years, the name has been revived. New models like the Big Bud 700 have been introduced, keeping the legacy alive while adapting to modern farming needs. These newer versions still carry the DNA of the originals: massive, powerful, and built tough for real farmers. It's proof that the spirit of Big Bud, the drive to build the world's biggest and toughest tractors, will never truly fade. So, what does Big Bud mean to us today? It's a reminder that farming isn't just about planting and harvesting. It's about innovation, ambition, and pushing the limits of machinery. It's about building tools that allow humans to feed the world. And in that mission, Big Bud tractors stand as some of the most iconic machines ever created. From the early 250s to the mighty 747, from the custom-built giants of the 70s and 80s to the revival of the brand in the 21st century, Big Bud's story is one of vision, grit, and mechanical brilliance. These tractors may not be rolling off production lines by the thousands, but their legacy is alive and well. If you ever get the chance to see one in person, take it. Stand beside those massive wheels. Look up at that towering hood. Hear the thunder of a diesel engine built to move mountains of earth. You'll understand why Big Bud isn't just a tractor, it's history on wheels. Thank you for joining me on this journey through the history and legacy of Big Bud tractors. If you enjoyed this video and want more deep dives into the most legendary machines on Earth, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe to AZ Automotive Reviews. This channel is all about celebrating the machines that move us, whether on the road, in the sky, on the water, or out in the fields. And Big Bud, well, it's one of the greatest of them all. Stay tuned, because here at AZ Automotive Reviews, the legends never stop rolling.